read and watch hentai all the time with my soul is tormented by a succubus. Call assist, pencil dripping from the way I spit. Fell in love with this. Sis got music, now she in my...
Hey there guys, it's your boy Ren back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about my views on a game I love as close to my heart, Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Okay, now if you want to see the full gameplay, full unaltered gameplay, you can go to my sister channel, Rentitled Gaming. The link will be in the description below to see the entire unfiltered gameplay. Me making my straight run. Okay, just see how I did. I think I did good. I think I did good for my first time. I'm probably gonna take another stab at it. Try, now that I know a lot of the tricks that are required in the game, try to get a much better run, much faster, much cleaner run, and just let you guys see that. But for now, you can just check out my first run on Rentitled Gaming channel. It'll be right there. I might make a smaller version for this channel, like a 20-minute version or 15-minute version, just so you guys see the highlights. But yeah, you can go over to that channel and say links in the description below. Okay, now I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII, the remake. I want to give my entitled opinions on it. My Rentitled opinions. That's a cheesy ass name, but I'm sticking with it. Okay, I want to give my Rentitled opinions on this game because I have been waiting for this game for forever. Okay, from the very first time it was announced, and I lost my shit like a kid. Yeah, I've been waiting for this game. I have been looking forward to the day that this game comes out. And so when the demo dropped, I had to get it. I got it. I had to see if the game lives up to my expectations. And I'm glad to say on all fronts, this game completely exceeds everything that I could have expected. It meets and exceeds all my expectations. Okay, now I don't want to get to take my word for it, so I'm gonna give you guys my should I say my proof, okay, my evidence, some things to back up what I'm saying. Okay, and how do I do that? Okay, I'm gonna break it down into 4 categories. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the graphics, the gameplay, talk about the music, and just some other miscellaneous things that I saw in there, or things that I like in there, which made me love and appreciate this game a lot more. So first off, let's just go straight to the graphics. Okay, just putting up the game, the first cutscene you see alone already it just lets you know what kind of game you're in for right now. Okay, it looks stunning. It looks beyond, it looks like something that should be on the PS5. Okay, now I played it on the PS4. Unfortunately, I was using the Elgato capture card, so I could only get it in 1080p. But if you play this game on 4K on your 4K monitor with the HDR enabled, I'm telling you, this game looks beyond gorgeous. Okay, the capture I have right now isn't doing it enough justice. What you're seeing on your screen right now doesn't do it justice. Believe me, this game looks gorgeous. Okay, and the lighting is I like when I see the light, I kind of, it's not ray tracing. This isn't ray tracing yet, and it's just unbelievable how good the lighting in this game is. And I read up on it and found out that okay, Square actually dedicated an entire team to lighting this game. So there's an entire team whose job is only lighting. That's all they do. They come in the morning, set their coffee down, they begin lighting shit up. Okay, they look at the lighting on a piece of armor, they go not good enough, and then they go home, they sleep, they dream about lighting, come back to work the next day and just keep on lighting. That is literally all they do. Imagine if that's your job description. Okay, your kid asks, that what you do for a living, and you're like, I light shit up. Okay, that's all these people do. That shows you just how dedicated Square was to bringing this game and bringing the best quality product they could. Okay, I don't think I've ever heard of a team solely dedicated to lighting a scene, not just a scene, sorry, the entire game. Okay, that shows that I can tell you the amount of polish that went into this game. Every single texture in this game pops. The blade looks metallic, it kind of glistens, in a way, because of it looks like the atmosphere feels like it just rain just passed. Okay, and it looks so good. Every single aspect of this game looks beautiful. Okay, there's a material at the back of your sword which lets you know how many things, how many material are inserted in your sword at any given moment, and what material is inserted. So it's kind of if you know your colors offhand and someone is playing a game, you're watching a stream, you can probably guess what material that person is using just by looking at the color of material on his sword. So that alone to me it's a minor thing, but it's just something that just shows the amount of care that is care and love basically that's going into this game. Okay, now like I said, the graphics are excellent, the lighting is excellent, and the voice acting doesn't really fall under graphics, but to me it's part of the presentation, you know, the what brings you into the game. The voice acting is excellent. Also, okay, Cloud has this kind of sassy kind of sassy, not moody really, but quiet but sassy personality, and Barrett is a bit over the top, as you'd expect. You know, this game was made in the 90s ish, so you can expect the black character is a bit over the top, Barrett, but it's a fun kind of over the top. It's not disrespectful. I like his character. I like his voice actor. Actually, there were a few lines that came off a bit over, like a bit too much, but you know, all in all, it was just excellent acting throughout, voice acting throughout. I bought it. Okay, I bought the banter between Cloud and Barrett throughout the entire thing. And we have Jessie, who was just simping hard for Cloud. It was so funny to watch. Jessie, she wanted Cloud. She wanted to hop on Cloud. Okay, she wanted to go on Cloud 9 the entire time. Okay, so yeah, the voice acting is excellent. Everyone, you buy their discussions, you buy that they're talking to each other and not just, you know, people sitting in a studio and just saying lines. Okay, so in that sense, I enjoy that. Okay, now in terms of the gameplay, let's go to chapter 2, which is basically the gameplay. Okay, now how does this game play? This game takes a hybrid of action. It's like an action RPG game. Okay, a hybrid. Okay, so you have the standard hacking, just pressing square to slash, get into a nice rhythmic combo. And then you have the turn-based ATBs. Okay, now what the ATBs do is like a gauge. Okay, so you get to fill up the gauge. Once your gauge is full, you can do certain abilities. Okay, so you have these skills which you can use, you have abilities you can use, items you can use, and all these things require your ATB gauge. Okay, so this adds a layer of should I say strategy to your game, because there are many times I was playing this game and I had to choose between either healing myself or using a skill, you know, because your skills deal a lot of damage compared to your regular hack and slash. And in this game, you're gonna want to use your skills a lot because they would deal a lot of damage to your enemies. But at the same time, those ATB gauges are also required to use a lot of your items. Okay, and I'm pretty sure there's some items that might require you to use like 2 or more ATB gauges. So in that sense, there's a depth to the combat. Okay, it's not just press square, end of the game. Okay, if you do that, there's a high chance you're gonna end up dead. Okay, there's a lot of strategy, a lot of depth, even the basic combat. Okay, every character has 2 modes. Okay, there's a regular mode and then there's a triangle mode, which is kind of like a different version of yourself, a stronger version of yourself. For Barrett, he has this thing called overcharge, where he unleashes a very powerful kind of, should I say, cannon blast, but in return for that, he has to charge it by repeatedly pressing triangle. Okay, now again, this is another part which has a bit of strategy to it, because while you're doing that triangle, pumping your gun to charge it, you are subject to, you know, getting hit by enemies. Okay, so you can either pump it or you can allow it to fill up on its own, which is very slow, and just keep shooting people. So again, there's elements of choice in the combat, elements of strategy. You have to keep thinking about what move you're gonna make. You can't just spam these things. You can't just spam square to win. And I just love that depth to the combat. I love having to think about what I'm going to do before I do it, because it makes you enjoy the game more. Some people say it's difficult. It's actually not difficult, because it just requires basic strategy. It isn't anything you haven't seen before. It's nothing. There's nothing too complicated. They just took the usual turn-based game and kind of made it a bit more fast-paced. Okay, that's it. That's all they did. And now you can actually dodge moves, because the one annoying thing about turn-based combat is you have to rely on luck to dodge move. This stats that evade and stuff that really sometimes feel like they don't mean anything in order to dodge a move. But now there are many times when something might be shooting at me, and all I have to do is just roll to the side or kind of go to the back to dodge its move. And again, in this game, there are actual positional advantages. Okay, so if you station yourself at an enemy's back, okay, there are certain moves the enemy can't use against you because you're at his back. At the same time, there are some enemies who are more vulnerable to attacks from their back or from their side. So again, just strategies, just things to keep your mind going at every stage of the combat. You're always thinking, you're always strategizing what you're going to do next, what action you're going to take next. And to me, that's a mark of a very good game. Okay, if you're not thinking while you're playing, then I don't know why you're playing. Your brain isn't actually working. You're not going to enjoy the game, really. Okay. And when you think about things like this, the ATB gauge for me is, I think, it will be the future of gaming. Not gaming, like Final Fantasy games. I think this is the model they should use going forward, because Final Fantasy they're a franchise that likes to explore new avenues and new ways to innovate their gameplay and stuff. I think what they've settled on right now is, for me, the best. They started with 13, which brought the ATB gauges to begin with. Then they went to 15, which went full combat, and we didn't like that because it was too easy. You didn't really need to think about what you were doing. And now they've kind of meshed two of them into just the perfect blend of strategy and still fun. Okay, so you're not waiting around for some random move and relying on the system to dodge or block for you. Okay, so this to me is the future of Final Fantasy games. I think a lot of other JRPGs can look to the system and try to implement it. It's just, this to me is what future JRPGs, action JRPGs might try to base themselves on. That is just how successful I think this system is. Okay, now let's go to the next session, which is music. Okay, now the music in this game it's a Final Fantasy game. I don't even need to say anything. Okay, I don't even think we need to do this section. Okay, it's a Final Fantasy game. The music is excellent. Okay, every Final Fantasy game that's ever existed, you can talk about the gameplay being trash, you can talk about the story being trash, you can talk about the characters being trash, you can talk about characters having the weirdest, stupidest laughs in the existence of all anime and gaming. Okay, you can talk about all sorts of inconsistencies and leveling problems and pacing problems, all sorts of things. But one thing no one can ever knock in any Final Fantasy game is the music. The music is always on point. Okay, they always bring it. Every single Final Fantasy game I have ever played, I have ever seen, they bring it. Okay, the music comes. Okay, we heard it in Shadowbringers, we heard it in Final Fantasy 15, even 13 had good music. Okay, and this it's 7. Okay, if you haven't heard, I just have to play Price of Freedom for you to know what I'm talking about. Okay? Price of Freedom, I think, is actually from Crisis Core, but still, okay, it is just this music is beautiful. It's the soundtrack. The little we have heard, from the battle to the cinematic part, it's on point. It's beautiful. This is what I have to listen to while I'm playing this game. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, so yes, definitely music is on point. I'm not even going to waste any time here. It's always just go download Final Fantasy VII's soundtrack. Just go do it now and just enjoy yourselves. That's it. Okay, finally, let's come to the miscellaneous part. Okay, just little things that I noticed that I love. Okay, and for me, the main thing is the banter between Cloud and Barret. Okay, I think banter between characters is one of the fastest and easiest way to make people care about characters. Okay, you can have character defining moments, someone stabbing someone or someone risking their lives for another person and stuff like that. But in my personal experience, the characters that people care about the most, both in movies and in shows, are those characters who have regular rapport during the show or during the anime or during the game. Okay, in two characters or more are regularly bouncing off each other, trading lines. They don't have to be important lines, they can be random rubbish. Okay, some of them can just argue over what newspaper is the best, or what kind of ramen is best, or what their favorite soccer team is. Just having characters randomly interact like that, to me, it's the bedrock of making people care about characters. And that to me is why I love Cloud and Barrett's interaction throughout my entire playthrough, okay? Because they just kept going at each other, and that to me is how you build characters, how you build my feelings for someone. And the bedrock for me, the greatest example for me is Final Fantasy 15. Okay, if you played 15, you know that no matter what anyone says about that game, okay, the problems that the game had, everyone agrees that those 4 characters, the main cast, they are like the best protagonists to come out of gaming in a very long time. They're one of the best. They're right up there. And the reason is because the way they interact with each other throughout the game. Okay, they talk while they fight, they talk while they're in the car. Every cutscene has them playing off of each other, just hanging out, just walking by the road. You guys are trading quips, and it's not always recycled garbage. Okay, sometimes when you go to a new zone, each person has something new to say about that place, or maybe when you progress in the game, they talk about events that happen around the guys in the game and stuff like that, or things you ate, or things you picked up, things you fought. They're always talking, and that's builds your care. It makes you care about these people a lot more than you would if they were all silent protagonists, silent characters just following you in the background. And because you care for them so much, it was what made the ending that much sweeter, that it made the ending so much more powerful. Is that feeling that, oh my god, these are people I've traveled with for over like 50 or 60 hours depending on how long you played the game, and that's why you care. It's the same thing that I feel is going to happen in Final Fantasy VII with the way the dialogue seems to be shaping up. If these characters keep bantering off each other, not just for important scenes, not just during cutscenes, but just while you're walking, you guys are trading quips up and down, back and forth. That to me is how you make me care about a character. That to me is how you make me give a damn about someone. And that to me is why I love Final Fantasy VII's banter. Okay, so far it is what I want to see, and I want to see more of it. Okay, now the only other thing I can think of is the linearity of this game, basically. So there are fears because the first part of Final Fantasy VII, the original, was very linear before the game opened up, and this game, the first part of the remake, focuses on that linear aspect of the game. So a lot of people are afraid that this game is going to be very linear, and they feel like it won't be good. I don't mind a linear game, honestly. There's this myth going around that you need an open world game in order for it to be good. That is absolutely not true. You just need good characters, a good story, and good pacing. Okay, and I think this game will do a very good job of that, because I didn't notice the linearity while I was playing. It didn't cross my mind that, oh my god, I'm in a linear path, I'm in a straight hands-on, rails-on experience, because I was just I was just enjoying the story I was playing. I was enjoying the experience of the game. So I feel as long as that is delivered, the experience is delivered, people aren't really going to care about how linear the game is. Okay, and for those who are wondering, yes, the game will open up in the next installment, whenever that is, maybe 2-3 years from now. I don't know how soon the next one will come out, but yes, the next game will probably be a lot more open world. But just for this one alone, even if it is a linear game, I don't mind it. I actually don't at all, because if you think about it, God of War was kind of linear. It did open up in a way, but a lot of the areas are actually very linear. They look open world-ish. There's an open world hub, okay, but the rest of the game is just kind of linear, very narrow paths that you take that lead to somewhere else. Okay, and I think that's what this game is gonna go for. I'm not sure there'll be a hub, but it's gonna be a lot of linearities around, and I don't mind that. I actually do not mind that at all. But whatever. That's just me. I don't. What your preference is your preference, and whatever floats your boat, I guess, works for you is fine. I've never been a stickler for open world versus a good linear story. So in that sense, that's the only thing I feel a lot of people might have problems with, and I just want to address it briefly. Okay, that's it for me. That's it. Basically, Final Fantasy VII, I loved the demo, I loved it, and I want you to go play it. Download it right now. It's free on PlayStation Store. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but on PlayStation Store it's out, it's free. Go get it, enjoy yourselves. Let me know what you think. This is Ren, your boy, signing out. Bye.